following presentation is for educational purposes only. All of the symbols, trading ideas, and live trading are for demonstrational purposes and are not recommendations or trading advice. Past performance may not be indicative of future results. All of the information and opinions expressed by third-party guests are their own and are not necessarily those of NinjaTrader LLC. Trading futures involve substantial risk and may not be suitable for everyone, and trading futures can result in losses greater than the initial required margin. Traders should only trade futures with risk capital. Risk capital is money that you can afford to lose without jeopardizing your financial security or current lifestyle. You can find additional disclosure information on the NinjaTrader website.
All right, we are back, folks, with a special edition of Meet the Team. I almost didn't invite this guest because he's an Illini fan, and Illini's, they're playing my South Carolina Gamecocks at the Cheez-It Bowl, but let's bring him in anyway. Wade Headrick is with us, Senior Director of Business Development for Growth for NinjaTrader. Wade, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing, Jim?
Pretty good, man. Yeah, so this December 31st, it's my South Carolina Gamecocks versus your Illini.
I think we're going to have a great game. It's probably the first time we've had a good football team in a couple decades, so I'm excited.
Yeah, South Carolina has their flashes of greatness, and then they have their flashes of not so greatness. I actually went to a game in Columbia this year when they played Texas A&M, and it was a night game. The SEC puts on a show.
Yes. If football's on another level down there. I mean, the Big Ten shows up, but not like that.
Yeah, it was really something. But in any event, well, thanks for being here with us, man. I appreciate. You're in the Chicago office.
I work out of the Chicago office today. I'm at home in the northwest suburbs, so we've got a lot of snow out there, or a little bit of snow at least.
Yeah, well, that's one of the reasons why I left Chicago quickly.
Yeah, living the Chicagoan dream, which is go somewhere warmer.
Are you originally from Chicago?
I'm from downstate near Champaign, which why am I an Illini fan? So, but lived in Chicago for the last 10 years and several years before that as well. So I've been here a long time.
Okay, so you're a permanent transplant, we'll call you.
Correct. Until I get to go somewhere warmer like you.
Oh, there you go. Well, you got to be a lot older like me, and then you could do it. Because you got little ones, right?
I do have little ones. We got a boy and a girl, 4 and 7, and they're great.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's a perfect age. Just wait till they're 15 and 12.
Oh yeah, they'll be done with me. They'll be moving on to bigger and better things at that point.
Absolutely. Well, okay, awesome. So we have a Chicago guy. Now I'm going to have my 4-year anniversary in January. You've been there longer than me. When did you start at Ninja?
I started in 2015, and February will actually be my 10-year anniversary. So almost 10 years. Yeah.
All right. Well, congratulations.
Thank you. I started out in the brokerage sales team, inside sales associate as a broker, working with new clients, onboarding them. Kind of worked my way up through the ranks there, became the sales manager, eventually the director of sales. And then I started also overseeing the business development team. And so for the last couple of years, that's what I've been doing, is overseeing both of those teams. Now I solely focus on the business development team.
Okay, I got you there. Yeah, I remember my first month, right, at Ninja, because I was in the office for about 9 months or so.
Yep, sat right next to me.
Yeah, and whenever, you're brand new to a job and you can't figure anything out on your own. I was like, all right, I got Wade right here. I'm just going to peek my head over and he's going to tell me how to do this.
You spend enough time here, enough soaks in your head that you can actually spit it back out to help people out. So glad I was able to help.
Yeah. So 2015, though, you've witnessed quite an evolution that the company's gone through. In 2015, Ninja was a brokerage firm, right? Or no, it was a platform firm. What was the time frame there?
So 2014, so about 6 months before I joined, NinjaTrader and Mirrors Futures, the brokerage, came together to form NinjaTrader Brokerage. So I joined about 6 months after that, and at that time we were really just kind of getting our start, working with a lot of seasoned traders. There weren't a lot of new traders at that time. Like onboarding, you would see a lot of people who had been through the ringer before, or they were trading somewhere else and they were moving to NinjaTrader. So it was a much different type of conversation at that point. people kind of knew the lay of the land, but as time's kind of grown, you see a lot more people, kind of the rise of retail, kind of entering this industry, and it's really it's great because you become a little bit more of a teacher at that point. So you're kind of teaching them about the rules of the road. As a regulated broker, you're also talking to them about products, like how to actually like the tick value and stuff like that. So it's been a big change over the years.
Yeah, but back in 2014, this is now, so now we had technology
Mhm.
married the brokerage, right? Because a lot
Correct.
of brokerage firms don't have their own platform. They don't have their own
Right.
technology, right? They outsource
Right.
it or they use somebody else's and they pay a fee to do that. And
Yep.
now these two things are merged together into one. And this is an important fact
Yep.
because now you can control your own development and growth.
Correct. Yeah, it was for the trader, when you look at it, having a seamless single source of support across your trading journey. So with your platform, with your brokerage, with the order desk, all of that all in one place, it makes a huge difference because trading futures is tough. This is not an easy gig. And the people that get into it have a steep hill of education, of learning, and when you can go to one destination to try to get those answers, it just makes all the difference in the world. A lot of other platforms or brokerages, you trade with the brokerage, but you have an issue with the technology. You got to reach out then to the platform. You're getting bounced back and forth, and it becomes really confusing. So this kind of changed what we introduced back in 2014. I think that was one of the real kind of catalysts that really ignited the rise of retail and futures.
Yeah, and not only once you do that though, there's no more finger pointing. There's no more finger
Exactly.
pointing. It's like, oh,
Well,
it's the it's
this is the finger
yeah.
pointing. It's us.
um, so let's forward to about 4 years ago. Then
Yeah.
the brokerage technology company then acquired the FCM, right? Non-clearing FCM.
Yep.
So now it's even easier for customers to, you get the statements, you get the platform, you get the whole ball of wax in
Yeah.
in one entity.
Right. It makes it, because there was that separation there for my first few years here with NinjaTrader, where there were still things we'd have to turn to the clearing firm for, not really on the customer side, but from our perspective, like when dealing with issues, we would handle it, but we would have to turn to them for assistance with it. The ability to control that entire front to back process really just enables us to, you look at the portal that we've created, some of the risk management tools that we put in place. It really expands what we're able to do. So that was a huge kind of shift in kind of our go-to-market strategy, essentially at that point.
Yeah, no, so it's funny because when I first started, I walked in and I'm like, it's a beautiful office. I walked in, I'm like, who are all these? What do all these people do? And it was like, oh, this is the support team.
Yeah. A huge part of the Chicago office is our support team. They take up a pretty significant part of that 14th floor at least. And you get people of all different ages, all different backgrounds, a lot of experience in this industry. People who are newer to the industry but have a lot of client service history. So, really great team. They are tremendous, and I think a lot of customers, especially as you've seen kind of the evolution over the last few years and kind of like our ability to service customers, that team just knocks it out of the park.
Yeah. So in addition to that area, you also are very active on the ecosystem side, right? The NinjaTrader ecosystem, we call it. Tell us a little bit about the evolution of that.
Yeah, so the ecosystem started as a way to engage with third-party vendors to, get them to bring their products to NinjaTrader, develop their add-ons on the NinjaTrader platform, service NinjaTrader customers, providing with all kinds of different services, content, uh, products, and so that was the original founding purpose. It was to bring more vendors to NinjaTrader, provide more value to the NinjaTrader clients, and it was a huge success. For years. And kind of what changed over time, though, is we were very agnostic about how we approached the ecosystem. We didn't promote any individual vendor. That's not something we've done to this point. We've really focused on like just kind of here's the the opportunities you have to our customers and letting them kind of decide the route that they want to take. I What's kind of changing here and kind of our focus moving forward is really a shift to focus more and more on customer success. giving traders the tools that they need to be successful, to come into this industry and kind of at least know a path that can help them. It's not going to guarantee success in any way, but will give them a much better leg up compared to kind of what's right now the case, where it's just kind of like figure it out, you know. So we want to kind of elevate some different opportunities for customers to find vendors that fit their, you know, their trading style, their risk profile, you know, kind of more matching a little bit traders to some of these vendors. It also gives the vendors the ability to connect better with their, you know, their target audience. So that's a big shift that we're looking to make here in the next few months and next year.
Yeah, it always amazed me. You know, we had that traders workshop segment where Tom would interview somebody in the ecosystem,
Yep.
and I've been in this business a long time. I mean, we're going back to the '80s, and when a new vendor would come up, I was always just surprisingly shocked in a positive way how these vendors are so unique, and they come up with a different point of view on how to analyze the market, and they've coded
Yep.
that into the system. It's like, oh wow, I never thought of that.
Yeah, I'll say, you know, one of the things is, so I worked as a broker for years, so I dealt directly with customers and their onboarding journey. So I saw them start their trading journey, and I saw the difficulties they faced. And what's really unique that I found, you know, especially to this industry, I think, is that a lot of traders, you can have a vendor who offers a trading style, a trading program, and they teach you this. You get up and running, and certain people will have success in it, and a lot of people won't. And that's where I think that variety and those different perspectives, it's kind of like, you know, the different ways that you can approach math, right? Some styles
Yeah.
will click with people, other styles will click with others. It's the same thing with trading. And so that variety of educators, that variety of trading styles, I think that's where a lot of the benefit comes from the ecosystem.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we even have psychology
Yep.
types of
Yep.
vendors in there and that's a huge, as you know, a huge part of the trading success equation.
Right. It's, you know, that's, I would say, one of the areas that people struggle with the most. You know, the psychology of loss, the psychology of, you know, kind of facing your fears when it comes to trading. There's almost this kind of like pin your ears back kind of mentality you have to have, but at the same time, you have to have risk management and you have to know when to call it quits. And so that's a whole industry that's really grown a lot in the last 5-10 years. So I remember
Yeah.
when I first started, I didn't have a lot of people to point them to in the psychology sphere. There were a few that I knew of, but now, I mean,
Yeah.
there's so many great teachers out there.
Yeah, it's such an important part. I mean, I've been doing this long enough, so long, as a matter of fact, that those are the skills I continue to work on. How to be a
Yeah.
better me in my head, and that's a big deal. So that's good to see that kind of person in there. And we have folks that use options to analyze, you know, futures levels. I think that's kind of was a trend for a while in the ecosystem.
Yes, yeah. So there's, you know, a lot of crossover. You know, obviously NinjaTrader is a multi-asset platform as well. So, you know, we have educators and systems that are focused more on the equities market, on options, on forex even. There's even some crypto business there because we do support that in our
Yeah.
charting. So yeah, there's just a lot of reach and a lot of crossover that can help to make it a little bit easier of a transition and provide more tools.
Yeah, no, for sure. So that's great. As a matter of fact, I think later on today, Ryan Krebs is going to introduce us to a couple of new vendors as well for the
Yeah.
last segment of the day.
He loves participating in this kind of segment. You know, he's so excited for it. It's something that he really has a passion for. He's one of, I think, the better traders on my team from the past when we were brokers. So this is something he loves. He loves to talk shop about trading. He loves to elevate some of the vendors that he works with and bring those to people's attention. So yeah, I'm so excited to have him participating in that program.
Yeah, I mean when he first approached us, I'm like, all right, where did you go to college? He's like, Indiana. I'm like, all right, you're in.
Yeah, I kind of figured that was what it was. If I would have came to you, I said, you know, I'm an Illini
Uh,
fan. But no, I
uh,
didn't go to Illinois, so if that helps any, I just grew up being an Illini fan. So I don't know
okay,
if that changes
okay,
your perspective.
a little bit, a little bit. Champaign. Did you grow up in Urbana?
No, a small town, a farm town just south of there.
Okay.
So about 30 minutes away. So we're all Illini fans in that area. My mother's family though is from Indiana, and so a lot of Hoosier fans on that side of it. So a little bit of a battle there.
All right. So I'm gonna cut you some slack. That's for sure.
It's
Uh,
in my blood at least.
yeah, for sure. So all right. So we talked about kind of the transition between just technology to a brokerage firm to a FCM to all that stuff. There's a lot of stuff in the hopper that me and you are aware of. We've seen behind the curtain, and
Yeah.
it's just amazing how for everything from technology on forward for the customer experience is just improving and improving. What are some of the things that we've put in already that you think are really important?
Yeah, I mean, so it's been a kind of a big project to this point. There's a lot of different pieces, and not all of them have been introduced yet. I can speak to them at a high level. What we have introduced so far, we introduced a new developer site. That's still a work in progress. So it brings all of our documentation and support for our various pieces of technology. So everything from the desktop platform, the web, mobile, even our trade API, which is a direct connection to our trading servers. It brings all of that documentation together into one site. It used to be a much more disparate kind of support structure before. So that is launched, still working through, just make sure we have all the documentation in place. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of pages of documentation across all those. But that's launched. The challenges or the arena space is something that we're close to launching. We have done a soft launch to this point, and that one's going to be really interesting, allowing traders to get in and compete against other traders, in a sim environment, competing for prizes. And it creates a different kind of perspective to trading, because a lot of people, I think, they get on their home computer, they're competing against the market, of course, but they're not engaging with anybody throughout the day, right? It can be a little bit of a lonely hobby,
Yeah.
essentially. But this, I think, brings people together, and it creates a little bit more of a community. And to that extent, I mean, there's a number of other programs too that we're looking to launch that we haven't yet announced. But overall, this kind of idea of trader engagement is in focusing on trader success, giving them a pathway or a journey that they can follow, where they can find education, where they can find tools, where they can find support, where they can find challenges. Some of the tools we're putting in place that can help them, guiding them in their trading journey, providing feedback about their risk analysis and kind of how they're trading. All of these tools will be coming up here over this next year, and it's really exciting. It's a complete transformation of what the ecosystem is, and really of what NinjaTrader is.
Yeah, and we used to say this could be the best, most boringest job there is.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
know, it's you and the screen usually, right? The trading arcades are usually are long gone at this point, and most of our, folks trade from all over the place, probably, but
Right.
their offices, their houses, their basement, their, wherever, the bookstore, or the coffee shop.
Yeah, it's not like back in the day when you'd be on the floor with 1,000 screaming people all around you, and
Yeah.
you almost have to have the sound turn on for NinjaTrader, so that when things happen, you get a little bit of rush of excitement, notifications of order filled and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it is, and I think creating that community and providing more access and creating a place where people can come together and can access education, can access what other traders are doing. I think it just really changes everything for traders.
Yeah, and a lot of folks listening now don't know what the arena is. So we had a soft launch already where we did a beta, I think, contest, and it's a place where you could go and you could and it's a contest. There's rules, right? I don't know if contest is the right word, but there's rules. You come in and then you trade. Everyone's trading the same criteria, and then there's a leaderboard, and then there's prizes, right, as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and again, that it's early on with that, but it's something we think could really expand kind of like the opportunities that traders have for getting better, for refining their craft. And there's just a number of other programs that we're working on, not yet announced, not something I could share to this point. But I'm very excited. I think it kind of, my experience in the industry and seeing the challenges of what traders have in their trading journey.
Mm-hmm.
These things we're putting together address just a ton of those things that I've wanted since the beginning.
Yeah, and Pulse, we could talk about Pulse. We've been showing
Yep.
it off a little bit. That Pulse has been released, and it's funny. We just, University of Michigan just came out with their Michigan sentiment survey results, and this is really trader sentiment, right? We
Yep.
get an aggregated snapshot of what traders are thinking throughout the day.
Right, exactly. So it's looking at where our traders on NinjaTrader, where they are in the market on each instrument or a set of instruments. And I think that's a tool that traders really hadn't seen before. Having the ability to see kind of where the market's leaning, at least from the NinjaTrader perspective, from the retail world. Tools like that, like there's a number of other tools that we're working on. I think that will just provide new new weapons for approaching the market essentially.
Yeah, no, it's unbelievable. I mean, it's just a real-time picture
Yeah.
of an FCM in what the collective sentiment is awesome. I mean, back in the day, my wife was a worked for SocGen. Back then it was called FEMAT here, and she was a balancer, right? So she
Mm.
was running the department and you'd have to balance positions, right, to see what the net position is either way. Now it's like in real time, right on the screen.
Right. I mean, imagine if you had that, 10, 15 years ago. It'd feel like
Oh,
such a leg up, something that other traders did not have access to. I
yeah.
don't even know. It would have changed the game. But yeah, I mean, and that's just one of the tools too. It's such
Yeah.
a fun time. Really, these last five
Yeah.
years, all the change that's happened.
Yeah. So what do you think about AI? Are we going to see more AI in the trading world?
It's AI, just like any new technology. You got to approach it, with a hefty bit of skepticism, along with, openness to what the opportunities are. And we've already integrated AI in a lot of ways into the organization, in the background for the ways we work. On our client services side, and there's a lot more to come. And on the trading side, it obviously offers a lot of opportunity. Whether it's AI guided trading strategies, AI indicators that can provide a little bit more depth of an analysis than what a standard indicator could. AI for scripting. I know that's something that's we've seen a rise in over the last few years, and it's really exciting because it's giving access to traders who otherwise would have never been able to kind of put their ideas into action. But it's really exciting. But at the same time, just like anything, there's challenges with it. There's places where it's going to come up short, and so it's finding a way to approach it that's responsible, but also is taking advantage of the opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, even on the education side, some of the things I see coming our way, it's like, all right, how do I do X, Y, and Z? And then all of a sudden you get this response with links to videos and technical explanation and all that stuff. That's going to be really, really helpful from an education point of view.
Absolutely, that's a game changer. I mean, we've done a little bit on the back end too for some of our building out our knowledge bases and things like that. It's helped us to create a lot more education for traders. So it's a huge opportunity.
Yeah, no, for sure. We have to talk about the mobile app.
Oh yeah.
So I've got, I have a version of it, and I've been banging away at it. And I was always the guy that said, I don't care how good a mobile app is, you can't trade with it.
Yep.
It's on a cell phone. I have 180
Guilty as
degrees
well.
turn. I've turned around. I've been banging on this thing. We're going to be doing some videos in January, and actually throughout the rest of the year as well. It's unbelievably awesome.
It's a tremendous change because that was always my belief as well. Some of these people may have spoken with me on the phone and beginning their trading journey years back, and a lot of them would ask about, do you have a trading app or a mobile app? And it's just like, well, do you want to monitor the market or are you looking to trade? Because you don't trade on a mobile app. That was always my mantra. This application has really changed my mindset on that. It's from the material design, the ability to navigate the platform so much
Yeah.
easier than our previous implementation, and it really is. It creates a whole new avenue for trading, and I'm really excited to see it go live.
Yeah, no, it is awesome. It is, and everything's all synced together and all of that stuff. So even if you're just using it for charts, quotes,
Yeah.
whatever, every night before I go to bed, I know I'm gonna sound a little old and dorky right now, but I go on the app and I go through all the market because it's real time data, right? It's real time
Right.
charting,
Yep.
and you can see what's happening in the evening session. And I want to know that before I go to bed in the morning, and we'll see what happened.
Right. 8 p.m. comes fast. I know. But yeah, I mean, it's it's so it's a whole new opportunity when you can access the market so easily, on the go. It's something that I don't think was really ever implemented well, and this new tool really is. I'm so excited for it.
So something you said earlier, and we might go a little bit over time here
Yeah.
for a second, but the rise of retail,
Mhm.
right? I mean, we've heard our CEO Marty Franke talk about the rise of retail.
Yeah.
What's your experience with that so far?
I mean, yeah. So we were seeing it and we were talking about it in like 2018, 2019. We saw it from our side, right? It was on a smaller scale, but we were seeing it. New traders come to the market, people who are hearing about this from friends, reading about it online, wanting to get into futures trading or trading in general. In 2020, though, obviously you had everybody working remote. You had the Wall Street bet stuff kind of kick off there, really at the beginning of the year, I guess the end of 2019, and it was just such a huge shift in trading. We saw a massive rise in new customers there in that first half of 2020, and it really continued for years on. It's still growing. Um, I think that people realize that these markets aren't just for the people that sit there behind a computer all day and study corn and grain profiles. This is a market that's accessible for all traders to an extent. And it's maybe not everybody, but if you have the knowledge, we have the education to help to increase that knowledge. It's an accessible market, and these last few years have been a huge shift in the type of people that we speak with. And it's really exciting because you see a lot of younger people, but you also see a lot of older people too, people who are in retirement, getting to this market more than we saw in the past, and looking at it as an opportunity to keep themselves sharp, to see a new opportunity to earn some money that allows them to stay home and kind of enjoy and do the things that they like to do versus going back to work.
Well, give me something to do in a few years.
Me too. Don't worry.
No, I hear you. No, because it's funny though. I was on the brokerage side in the 2000s,
Yeah.
and our mindset was the target market's only so big for futures traders. It's a boutique marketplace,
Yeah.
online futures trading, and we want to compete for market share. That was the mindset. Instead, and then all of a sudden that mindset shifted to, yeah, we want market share, obviously, but now we want to kind of extend the reach because micros are out there and it's
Right.
really accessible for anybody to give it a shot.
Yeah. You start with minis and then to micros. It really changed kind of the landscape and the ability for people to be able to access this market. It's important to manage your risk. It's important to have enough funds to be able to trade this market. It's not for everybody, but it does make it much more accessible. And we've set up a really good system to support that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Wade, I appreciate your time today, especially on a Friday, man. Happy Friday.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to go play in the snow after this.
Oh man, how I don't miss that one
Yeah.
bit.
Well, good
Oh
luck to
man.
your
Anyway.
Hoosiers.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I would say good luck to your lineup, but I can't get it out.
It's fine. We'll see how it goes. I'm not holding my breath.
All right, man. Well, listen, have a great weekend and happy holidays to you and your family. Again, thanks for being here with us.
You as well, Jim. Thank you.
All of the symbols, trading ideas, and live trading are for demonstrational purposes and are not recommendations or trading advice. Past performance may not be indicative of future results. All of the information and opinions expressed by third-party guests are their own and are not necessarily those of NinjaTrader LLC. Trading futures involves substantial risk and may not be suitable for everyone, and trading futures can result in losses greater than the initial required margin. Traders should only trade futures with risk capital. Risk capital is money that you can afford to lose without jeopardizing your financial security or current lifestyle. You can find additional disclosure information on the NinjaTrader website.